Hey, good morning. You guys missed the dance party already because I forgot to actually include everybody. So, good morning, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. And on today's episode, good morning, Regalata Real Estate over on Instagram. Um, yeah, we're talking about vanity metrics. I actually did a post about this yesterday, and this is one of the things that I talk to clients about quite a bit, especially when it comes to um, wanting followers and wanting to have all of these people follow them. And I always caution that having a lot of followers is great, but it's a two-edged sword because if you have followers that are not engaging with your content or actively good morning, Dwayne,
Wayne, what's up, crew?
or are actively having conversations with you, all the followers in the world don't really mean anything, right? It's all about the engagement. So let me go take you back in the day. There we go. Okay. 2016, 2017, particularly on Facebook, huge time to have a lot of followers. And in fact, probably starting in about 2014, there was this huge push to the more followers you had, the more established you were, the better your brand was. And a lot of pages then bought followers. And then it trickled from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter. And these followers, well, yes, you can buy 50,000 March Madness predictions.
What up, George?
That's gonna be that'll be another show.
There is I will say there is some mad March Madness action happening on Retweet on X. Yep. So there's some brackets going, there's some different things. So yeah, that I would say X is the platform to check out what everyone's doing with March Madness.
Though I do think Adam Dunn just posted this morning about March Madness on LinkedIn.
Right, his ChatGPT predictions.
Yes.
We'll see. I love to see it if it works out.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna put in my lotto numbers, and oh my gosh, that would be actually pretty fantastic. What are ChatGPT's lotto numbers for today? And then do like an entire series. Okay, I'm so getting off the topic. Okay, George, you derailed us.
Power of the interrupt. It was about followers and then purchasing followers. And then so what happens when you do that?
Right. So a lot of times what happens when you purchase followers, one, it gives you inflated metrics. It actually jacks up your engagement and anything that a actual social media manager would be looking for. Because if you have 5,000 followers and only one person is engaging with your content, which is probably your mom, that's not going to help your brand at all, right? That's not helping you build a business. That's not helping you create that top of mind awareness. What it's going to start doing is it's going to start people looking at your content and going, huh, why is this not hitting? When people buy followers too, you also get the challenge and the problem of and they used to do this on Instagram, where if you used to buy followers, they would actually get rid of your account. And they did this on Facebook too. If they found a bunch of fake followers, they're just like, this account's trash. We're going to go ahead and get rid of it. I don't know if they do that so much anymore, but they did do that, 2014 through 2018. Followers and following is a vanity metric. It is absolutely something just to make you feel better. Does it provide value? No. Does it mean that you're established? No. What does it mean? But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything. The big importance is, are you making those connections in the DMs? Are you making connections in your comments? And is that bringing business to you in real life? As we've mentioned before on this platform, social media is top of mind awareness, and it is the top of the funnel. And as the funnel brings through, Your ultimate goal, at least my ultimate goal, is to get you an email address. Why do you want an email address? Your email address is where your money is. Because if you happen to leave, and I'm particularly talking to brokers right now, if you happen to leave your brokerage and you don't have access to that list of clients or people that you contacted for years, you are losing out and you have to build that up again. Good morning, Anders9457, joining us on Instagram. We are talking about fake followers and vanity metrics. Now, the whole reason I brought this, I wrote a post about it yesterday on LinkedIn. And the whole reason I brought it up is because I saw a video on Instagram, really well done, really well done. Content was good, right? It was good. And then I was like, dang, this person has like 500 reactions on this. That's incredible. I'm so happy for them. And then I went and looked to see who the people were reacting, and it was a bunch of accounts out of India. So what does that indicate? That indicates that these reactions are paid for. When you do inauthentic actions like this on Instagram, so this is a warning for you, when you do inauthentic actions like this, paying for people to like your content, you will get kicked off of Instagram. This will happen. Not so much buying the fake followers anymore. Now it's the reactions. This will get you kicked off, because when you post a video, and I know this because this was one of those engagement tactics we talked about in like 2018, 2019, you could buy engagements. Thanks, Dwayne. We think so too. Behind the scene connections is key.
That's right.
When you buy those reactions, they don't just come in on a wave, like 10 here, 10 here. No, it's like 500 all at once. Right?
Have you seen? It's crazy. Like these videos, you'll see, any like these massive operations that are operating this kind of like engagement farming thing. They would like, I've seen these videos of like phone after phone after phone, and then it's just people like.
It's a wall of phones, right?
And then, there's a ton of stuff that people can do, not even like with the devices, but like one of the biggest flags for me here too, if we're talking about long-term strategy and something that's sustainable, it's almost the same thing as like paying for boosting or paying for ads, like without having solid creative or without having like really solid foundational content that is going to convert people and work because you've tried it. It's inflating the metrics, but then also like, what if you run out of money? What if you have dumped all of your ad spend into getting artificial engagement and following? It's not it is a one-time, I mean, you can do it for as long as you like, but it's like, it's an investment in the wrong thing. Because when you invest your time and your money and your resources into content that is authentic, content that is about the people that you're actually trying to reach, in the long term, that is a stronger investment, because you are, again, making those direct connections with people that are actually your clients. I would rather have 200 people in my follower sphere that, or like in my, what the hell did I just say? Follower sphere? I would rather have 200 people in my ecosystem that I have made personal connections with, that I know, or who I'm growing a relationship with over these channels. Like, it doesn't matter to me if somebody who is not a client or a colleague or someone who is going to be one of those things, it does not matter if they like my post or not. And so if you're dumping money and time and resources into something that this kind of artificial inflation, in the long term, it is not going to work out for you, because you're putting your stuff into the wrong thing.
Correct. And it's in front of the wrong audience. Right? As we've talked about with the For You pages, as we talked about how the algorithms are shifting and changing. And if you've noticed on LinkedIn that the posts, the LinkedIn, particularly on LinkedIn, metrics are a little weird right now. right? You can get 50 reactions and 37 comments on a post, and it's only going to get like 1,200 impressions. And I've actually seen this. There's a client I'm working with, a post that we did, got 9,000 impressions. And so just when we're talking impressions are the number of times that your content shows on somebody's feed. Like it actually is on their screen for, I think it's like 3 seconds or more. So that's what an impression is. Reach is the number of people that it actually reached. So generally, if you have 9,000 impressions, about 4,500 people have seen that because it'll pop up twice for simplicity's sake, right? That's generally how impressions and reach work. So again, impressions is the number of times it shows up on somebody's screen, and then reach is the actual number of people that saw the content. Okay. So this post had over 9,000 impressions, 0 comments, 6 likes. What? Like how does this happen? I can't explain it. I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm doing research on my end, and it's all I can come up with is the fact that the algorithm has shifted because they're trying to anticipate what's going to happen with TikTok on April 4th. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell does TikTok have to do with LinkedIn? Well, if you've noticed on LinkedIn, there's a lot, particularly mobile, there is a lot more video content being shown on mobile than there is on desktop. Like desktop is desktop, right? Like it always looks the same. But if you go on mobile and you're scrolling through LinkedIn, there's a lot more video that's showing up, particularly vertical video now. So as you're talking about strategy, as you're talking about how you're going to improve your LinkedIn, video definitely is showing up more on mobile. And then your impressions and your metrics might be a little skewed because of how they're adjusting the algorithm at this time. And again, that's because they're trying to anticipate what's going to happen with TikTok on April 4th. We don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. Allegedly, they're in talks with Oracle and to work with the Chinese government, but who knows what's going to happen? It could get shut down again. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So that's why everything's shifting and adjusting. So if you're frustrated by what's happening on LinkedIn with your impressions, with your reach and your engagement rate, I think pretty much everybody's going through that right now. It's been kind of a crapshoot.
I think too, just as like a general reminder or like thought to pull out of this again is like, it is the social part of this that is the most important, and the media is secondary. The everything that we talk about, everything that we like are exploring with all of the platforms and the tech and the algorithm and all of this stuff, like the thing that you should actually be focusing on that you can actually control is how you're showing up for your people and the kind of conversations that you want to have with them and for them. Just all kinds of different prepositions in there, and that probably wasn't the correct term. But once again, like if you are making content that is directly speaking to the people you want to reach, you can change the platform. You can change the format. At the end of the day, that is the most important thing. And then also resilience, right? Like you can't let the not knowing or the uncertainty about any of these things like stop you from keeping moving forward. You just have to adapt. You have to adapt. And if you and then once again, just like to bring it back to this idea of like purchasing, a vanity metric, like followers. If you bought a bunch of followers on TikTok, bye. You know what I mean? That's not a real relationship. Real relationships are platformless. They're impervious to platforms. So it's like,
I love that.
So it's like if TikTok goes away again, like all of the people who are on there, like those relationships will hold across platforms. And if your content matters enough, if you have made real connections, your people will come find you somewhere else.
Yes.
But not if you bought them. Not if you bought them.
And here's the other thing too. If you have a platform that goes away, how have you been shifting those people into your marketing funnel to get their email address so you can still connect with them off of the platform, right? How are you connecting off platform? Are you sending e-newsletters? And I'm not talking about property blasts. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Yes, that's a newsletter. When I talk to brokers and like, oh yeah, we do email marketing. I'm like, okay, like when was the last time you sent out a market report? We haven't. Okay, what kind of email marketing are you doing? Oh, well, we send out property blasts twice a week.
Can I also, yesterday I had this moment that I was like, first of all, I'm on all these mailing lists that I never signed up for. Which is that's like, ugh. And so I'm whatever, but it's also from people I know, and I'm like, okay, but anyway, everybody yesterday sent their property blast. Like Wednesday, everyone's like, Wednesday, we're gonna do a property blast, and I'm
Wednesday.
I wanted to. Maybe next week I will reply individually to each one and be like, hey, just so you know, this dropped in my inbox at the same time as 10 other property blasts.
So it makes me wonder if one, they were told by some marketing guru somewhere that they were supposed to send it out at that time, or two, they're all using the same service that is sending it at the same time, which is a good possibility.
But 100%. But it's just it's interesting to see, like if that is a sidebar. That's a different
conversation.
Like, you know.
But I mean, it is part of the conversation because we're talking about. So if you're just joining us, we are talking about paid followers. So you bought followers, buying engagement, which does not help you at all, and your future social media manager will hate you. Just telling you right now, like, oh great, you have 10,000 followers. Oh yeah, yeah, about 6 years ago, I bought 5,000 of them. I'm like, okay, so we have 5,000 followers. Well, no, there's 10. No.
Yeah.
No, there's 5. There's 5.
It's really tough. I also, okay, maybe to bring this home, the vanity metrics. Why do you think people care about them so much? I think there's a couple different reasons, but I'm interested from your experience and your perspective. What are the vanity metrics besides followers, if any, and why do people care about them so much?
To me, vanity metrics are followers because from my perspective, impressions, engagement, and engagement rate are actually something that I use to quantify how well we're doing on a social post. So for my clients, I never guarantee them anything other than I try to get them 10% organic reach on every single post that we do. So if they have 1,000 followers and that reaches 100 people and we have, say 200, 300 impressions, I know I'm doing a good job because that's that 10%, right? That's that 10% organic reach that I am looking for. That's my standard. Why 10%? Because if you understand how all the platforms work, and I strictly work in organic social, I know that I'm saying generalized across platforms, it's less than 4% organic reach. I think X has the lowest at like 1.2 or 1.3%. LinkedIn's like 1.7. I think Instagram has the highest at about 3.7%. So when we're looking at organic reach across platforms and it's less than 4%, somebody's telling you that's what I try to get is 10% organic reach. That's pretty damn good, right? So to me, impressions, engagement rate, not a vanity metric. Followers is a vanity metric because those followers can be purchased. There are such certain cases where, and I've seen this, where there have been rival social accounts. And so they'll actually buy followers for a rival account to jack up their numbers. Like, how
That's
messed up
so
is that?
salty.
Right? On what?
That's so salty.
It's super salty, and it happens. And sometimes, I mean, if you all of a sudden on one of your posts you see that you have 100 likes and you're like, oh yeah, this is really hitting, take a look at it and then start looking at the people who've liked it. One, two, check your DMs, particularly your spam, because there might be somebody in there is like, hey boss, did you like that? I can send, all types of people your way to engage with your content. That's great that they're going to engage with my content, but they're not my audience and they're never going to buy from me.
Yeah, that's it right there. They are not my audience and they're never going to buy from me. That is the number one reason why not to do this.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Julia Anderson has a comment. She says, one time I ended up on a list of a VA company specializing in marketing, and they sent out their entire welcome series.
Like into your inbox. Yeah, just like dumped it all.
So it wasn't a drip campaign. It was a deluge campaign.
I love that.
Yeah. So to your question, the vanity metrics to me is followers, because if they're not buying, if they're not consuming, if they're not engaging, it doesn't mean anything. What about you? What do you think are vanity metrics?
Well, I think the thing I'm really trying to get to, I agree with everything that you said. The thing I really am trying to get to is why people put so much emphasis on that. And I think that a part of the reason that it happens is there needs to be some like expectation management or level setting again around there is not a shortcut. You don't start picking up the phone and doing deals on your very first day. When you call someone, it is to get a meeting. When you call someone, it is to build that relationship. It is to help them. It is to check on them. And that takes time. And it is the same thing with social media. There is a lot of sort of like misconception around how long it takes to build your strategy and to build your presence so that you are building and cultivating those relationships online. And it's a longer conversation about sort of like why this expectation is that you can like get on social media and it'll just start working for you. That's not it. But again, like, because there are some ideas or conceptions around social media and what it can do, when people don't have that dopamine hit, when people don't have that immediate result, that is why I feel like people start to focus on vanity metrics like follows, like even surface level likes on a post, like just the little hearts, right? Like, because it feels good, because they are getting immediate feedback from people that they are worth following, that they like their content, that that it is. And when we talk about purchasing things or engagement farming for that reason, I feel like people are drawn to that because it feels good, but it doesn't mean anything, right?
Right. Back to you asked me the question, and I'm glad you brought that back. It reminded me. It all started back on Facebook, right? When pages were huge on Facebook, a page would have some sort of clout or some sort of authenticity or believability if they had a certain number of followers. That's where it all comes from. It all comes from this perception that you are worthy of listening to. But as we know, people were buying followers even then. And so again, back in the day, pour one out. People would build up these pages with fake followers and then sell them to other companies on Facebook because it made them money. And they're like, oh, cool. Now I have a page with 1 million followers. Great. I'm a B2C, company, right? Now I have 1 million followers on this page. Now I'm going to get all these sales. No, you're not, because it was fake engagement. It was everything was fake. And now you have a page where you're trying to schlep your wares and nobody's buying anything, and you wasted money buying this page that is not going to get you any action. So our cautionary tale for today: do not buy followers, do not buy engagement, because it does not put you in front of the people you want to be in front of, to create those relationships, to create that community. It is not worth your time or your money or your effort. And that's the big thing. Like when I'm talking about this video that I saw, the effort to put into that video, amazing. The content, good. The quality, exceptional. Like, if you notice, I'm saying that the quality of the video was great. The content was okay. Like, it was, take it or leave it. But are you actually getting in front of the audience that you need to be in front of? And are they hearing your message? And are they actually going to engage with you in a different manner offline? So
100%.
you have to go. You have to take Miss Ruby to school.
I just want to say too, like, the moral of this is, once again, like, you got to put in the work. And that is never, ever what anybody wants to hear. But in 3 to 6 months, if you bought followers today, that you are going to literally be nowhere from where you're at now. It is not the solution. It is a temporary Band-Aid to make you feel better. And that, like, but it's not a long-term solution. And so if you want to put in the work, if you would like a strategy that actually works, and to build both what you're putting out there and your confidence in yourself, and getting more emails, all of the good things that we always talk about, you're going to go to that link right there. Yes. I'm going to talk on my mo for a second, because this group is where you are actually going to build the resilience, build the strategy, put in the reps, so that you can surge your social with people who actually care about what you do and who you can help.
Absolutely. It's a school.com social mastery VIP. We have a wait list going on right now. Thank you, Fly, for I always forget. I'm like, whatever. It's fine. I'm just here chit-chatting about social media.
I'm just the professional industry. I'm like the professional industry hype man. That's like really, I got my swag. I'm like, oh, here. That's it. That's actually my job.
That's what we need to put on your LinkedIn profile. Professional hype man.
That might be better than my current headline. We need to workshop it.
Okay. Maybe we should talk about headlines next. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Bye.